What if I told you the biggest threat from AI isn't some far-off robot apocalypse? What if the threat is that it's already stealing your future job, and you just haven't realized it yet? It's not happening with a bang. It's happening in silence. Right now, in boardrooms and on servers, millions of entry-level jobs are being designed out of existence. By the time many people realize what's happened, the career ladder they were about to start climbing will have its bottom rungs sawed clean off. In this video, we're not just going to admire the problem. We're going to give you a clear step-by-step playbook to make your career indestructible in the age of AI. For years, the conversation about AI and jobs has been about hypotheticals. Well, forget the future. It's already here. The replacement isn't an army of robots marching into the office. It's a quiet, systemic takeover of tasks. Right now, nearly 3 in 10 US companies say they have already used AI to replace certain job roles. That's not a projection. That's today. By the end of this year, 2026, that number is expected to jump to nearly 4 in 10. This is a quiet transition. It happens in software updates and workflow redesigns that make entire jobs simply redundant. Now, to be fair, some experts believe this won't be a sudden tsunami of unemployment. Analysis from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, for example, suggests that most companies would rather retrain their workers to use AI than replace them outright. But even in the best-case scenario, what we're seeing is a fundamental change in the nature of work, especially for those just starting out. These entry-level jobs, the traditional gateway to a career, where you learn the ropes and build experience, are vanishing. A recent Stanford University study uncovered a startling trend. Since AI went mainstream, employment for workers aged 22 to 25 in AI-exposed fields has dropped by 13%, while their older, more experienced colleagues in the very same jobs saw their employment grow. The first step on the career ladder is cracking, and it's making it harder than ever to get a foothold. So, who's at ground zero for this disruption? The answer is clear. Anyone whose job is built on routine, process-driven, or repetitive thinking. The most vulnerable category, without a doubt, is administrative and clerical support. These roles are the backbone of most companies, but their tasks, managing data, scheduling, and filing, are prime targets for automation. We're talking about millions of jobs. In the US, roles like office clerks, administrative assistants, and receptionists are all facing extremely high exposure to AI. In fact, one study identified 6.1 million of these workers as not only being in highly exposed roles, but also having what researchers call low adaptive capacity, meaning they may lack the savings or easily transferable skills to pivot if their job disappears. Next up, customer service. We've all dealt with basic chatbots for years, and let's be honest, they were mostly just annoying. But the new generation of AI is scarily good, and companies are noticing. While some initial projections of 80% automation might be high, the trend is undeniable. And if you're in a creative or tech field, don't get too comfortable. Roles once considered untouchable are now feeling the heat. Entry-level coding, content creation, and even journalism are seeing more and more tasks automated. Microsoft's own research found that its AI Copilot could perform a huge chunk of the tasks done by its own salespeople, writers, and data scientists. The common thread here isn't the industry, it's the task. If your job involves processing language, handling routine data, or creating predictable content, you are standing in the path of the AI freight train. This isn't about a few jobs disappearing. It's a fundamental rewiring of the entire economy. Before we get into the survival playbook, if you're finding this valuable, do us a favor and subscribe to our newsletter. We break down the latest AI trends and career strategies every week. The link is right there in the description. It's free, and it's designed to keep you ahead of the curve. So, What do you do? It's easy to feel a little dread right now, but panic is not a strategy. Preparation is. The future will belong to those who adapt. And the good news is, there's a clear path forward. Here are the 3 critical strategies that will make your career unshakable in the face of it. The biggest mistake you can make right now is trying to outwork an algorithm at a task it was built for. You will lose every time. Every time. The winning move is to shift your mindset from doing the work to directing the work. Stop being the tool and start being the one who operates the tools. What does this actually look like? If you're a graphic designer, you don't just mock up logos from scratch anymore. You become a creative director who uses AI to generate 50 concepts in 10 minutes. And then you apply your human expertise to select, refine, and perfect the final product. If you're a junior programmer, you don't spend hours on boilerplate code. You use AI to generate it instantly and focus your energy on system architecture, complex debugging, and making sure the AI's output is actually secure and efficient. To do this, you have to learn to speak the language of AI. This means developing skills in prompt engineering, the art of giving AI precise instructions, understanding AI ethics so you can spot bias or errors in what it spits out. With an estimated 20 million US workers needing to retrain in the coming years, starting now puts you way ahead of the game. There's a long list of things AI can do, but there's a shorter, much more powerful list of things it can't. AI cannot replicate genuine emotional intelligence, complex, critical thinking, creativity, or leadership. For years, these were dismissed as soft skills. Not anymore. They are the new power skills, and they're your biggest advantage. Think about it. An AI can analyze a sales spreadsheet with inhuman speed, but it can't sit across from a client, read their body language, and build a relationship based on trust. An AI can write a report, but it can't mentor a new hire, navigate a tricky office political situation, or inspire a team to rally around a new vision. As automation handles the routine, the humans who are left will be valued for being, well, human. Your humanity isn't a liability. It's your ultimate career defense. Remember those 6.1 million workers with high AI exposure and low adaptive capacity? Your final strategy is to make damn sure you're not one of them. Adaptive capacity is just a fancy term for your ability to weather a career storm, and it comes down to 2 things: financial resilience and skill resilience. First, financial resilience. This is the practical, boring foundation of career security. Having an emergency fund gives you runway. It gives you the freedom to say no to a dead-end job or to take 3 months off. To reskill without panicking. It turns a crisis into an opportunity. Second, skill resilience. This means proactively building skills that are transferable across different jobs and even different industries. Don't be a one-trick pony whose trick is about to be automated. Be a versatile problem solver. The International Monetary Fund notes that 1 in 10 job postings in advanced economies already requires new skills that weren't listed for that same role in the past. So take a hard look at your job. What are you doing that a machine can't? Are you great at project management, at client communication, at simplifying complex ideas? Invest in those skills. Take online courses, work on side projects, and actively seek out responsibilities that make you more versatile. The ground is shifting under our feet, and the job market as we know it is changing forever. The threat from AI isn't some distant storm. It's a rising tide that is already washing ashore millions of jobs, especially the ones that have always been the first step into a career, are being automated and redesigned. But this isn't a story about doom and gloom. It's a call to action. You have a choice. You can ignore the tide and hope it doesn't reach you, or you can learn to build a better boat by becoming an AI collaborator, by doubling down on your irreplaceable human skills, and by building your adaptive capacity. You do more than just survive. You position yourself to thrive. The future isn't about humans versus AI. It's about humans empowered by AI. The most valuable professionals of the next decade will be the ones who mastered this partnership. The future of your career isn't set in stone. It's yours to build.